Head over to brightsideben.com and pull down on our shopping cart and check out all the products there. You can also click on the Join the Team link on the upper left-hand corner of the page at brightsideben.com. Also want to encourage you to check out our blog, pharmacistben.com. Thank you to my webmaster, Robert Lundgren, who does such a great job on that. pharmacistben.com. Okay, so if you're dealing with zits, you're dealing with acne, you're dealing with psoriasis or eczema or skin issues, you don't have a prescription drug issue, and there's no prescription drugs that are going to get rid of your zits anyway. The fact of the matter is, if you got a pimple formation, you got any kind of skin problem, you got a skin cell problem, the same as if you have any health issue. So what do? Well, the skin cell is largely, the health of the skin cell is largely dependent on the coating, the outer part, the brains of a cell, the cell membrane. So focusing first and foremost on cell membrane health is key, and that means fats and fat absorption. If you're dealing with any kind of fat malabsorption issue, you're likely to have a skin problem. In fact, that's like a skin issue is diagnostic almost. It's an identifying feature almost of fat malabsorption issue. So focus on how you absorb fats. Use your ultimate enzymes after meals. Use the BioLumin Nightly Essence, 6 capsules a day, at least 3 capsules a day. Use pancreatin. I love pancreatin. Pancreatin is a pancreatic enzyme complex. You can get it at health food stores, especially if you have any kind of pancreas issue, pancreatitis or diabetes, or if you have deficiencies in stomach acid. That can affect the pancreas as well. You can get pancreatin real inexpensively, and that's another great way to deal with fat malabsorption issues. Keep in mind, if you're not absorbing fats, if you have fat malabsorption, and 30% of Americans have fat malabsorption problems, this is a key sign that you may not be absorbing your fatty vitamins, and that can have a really important impact on the formation of zits or milia, those hard little bumps that form on the skin, especially when it comes to vitamin A. Vitamin A, vitamin anabolic. That's what I call vitamin A. Anabolic means building, and vitamin A is a building vitamin. Vitamin A turns on the production of proteins. And that makes vitamin A a really important skin cell vitamin. Skin cells are making these hard proteins, and that's where you get the hard bumps, the milia, the keratoses, the pimples. And vitamin A is a key player in the production of the hardening proteins that come out of the skin cells. Keratin, specifically. All vitamins are going to play a role in building on some level, but vitamin A and its colleague, vitamin D, are directly involved in the building process via genetics. Vitamin A is an epigenetic factor. That means it's even superior to genetics. Epigenetics means it turns on genes. Doc Wallach's got a book coming out, actually probably any day now, called Epigenetics, which is all about the vitamin and nutritional supplement link to genetics, how vitamins and nutrients can actually turn genetics on. Vitamin A turns on the genetics that produce keratin, that produce protein. And if you're dealing with a fat malabsorption issue, if you've had a gallbladder removed, if you have a liver problem, remember 30% of Americans have liver problems, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. If you got a liver problem, if you have a gallbladder problem, if you have an intestinal problem, Crohn's disease, if you got a stomach acid problem, you're not making enough stomach acid, if you have a pancreas problem, you can see where we're going here. We're probably covering 80% of Americans when you add in all the potential ways you can have fat malabsorption issues. In any case, if you have a fat malabsorption problem, you're going to be deficient in fatty vitamins like vitamin A. And if you're dealing with milia and hard bumps on the skin, or acne, or psoriasis, or eczema, it's almost a guarantee that there's some kind of impairment in fat absorption. Vitamin A is particularly important for keratin production. In fact, the go-to medical treatment, the go-to dermatological treatment for excess keratin is vitamin A cream, specifically retinoic acid, also known as Retin-A. It's the one dermatological treatment, prescription medicine, that can be said to really work. Yesterday I went on a little rant on dermatology. I'm sorry about that because I have a lot of friends who are dermatologists, but it's the science, so-called science of dermatology, that's such a problem with, because if you go to a dermatologist, you're more than likely going to end up with steroid creams and antibiotics, or Dapsone, anti-leprosy medicine for your acne. Can you believe this? In fact, dermatological medicine accounts for one of the main reasons for our antibiotic resistance crisis, the fact that so many people are resistant and so many antibiotics don't work. So many bacteria are resistant to antibiotics. In my opinion, dermatological overtreatment or incorrect treatment accounts for one of the major reasons for our antibiotic resistance crisis. One of the first things we learn in pharmacy school is you never stay on an antibiotic for more than 2 or 3 weeks at a time. Bacteria adjust very quickly because they're reproducing quickly. Bacterial evolution takes place in a matter of weeks. The same kind of evolutionary process that takes millions of years in human beings can take just a matter of months in terms of bacteria. If you're on a drug, an antibiotic like tetracycline or erythromycin for long term, more than likely you know that your erythromycin or your tetracycline or antibiotic isn't working over the course of months and years. In fact, over the course of months and years, your antibiotic doesn't work anywhere near as well as it used to work. But it's still damaging the digestive tract, and it's still costing you nutrition. Nothing screams metabolic issues. Nothing screams biochemistry that's messed up more than adult acne. A lot of adult acne is nothing more than digestive issues and food intolerance. This is so tragic to me. I see adults, women especially, in their 30s and 40s, even in their 50s, and they've got these digestive conditions on their skin, and they're being treated with acne medicine or antibiotic medicine or anti-leprosy drugs, and all they really need to do is focus on their digestive health. Other forms of adult acne involve the sex hormones, estrogen and testosterone, and that always means fat malabsorption issues. In fact, in my 30 years of experience of working with the skin, it's a rare woman who has adult acne that doesn't also have fat malabsorption issues. And usually the adrenal glands are involved too. The adrenal glands are also making female hormones and male hormones. But either way, whether your adult acne is digestive or whether your adult acne is hormonal, the last thing you need is an antibiotic. What's an antibiotic going to really do? It's going to kill bacteria. But bacteria is not the problem when you have acne. We all have bacteria on our skin. We all have acne bacteria on our skin, but only a select group, a narrow sliver of the population has breakouts. That's because it's not a bacterial issue. Adult acne, all acne really, is number one a hormonal issue and number two a digestive issue at times. All right, so much more to talk about here, and I think we'll get to all this. We'll continue this discussion on acne and keratin, hard protein keratin, tomorrow. We'll also tell you why keratin's not just a skin protein. You know, if you have digestive health issues, you also may have a keratin problem. We'll tell you what I mean. I'll tell you what I mean tomorrow as we continue on the bright side. We're coming back with your phone calls right after this.
Did you know that organic sulfur can cleanse and defend your body against the poisons we're exposed to each day? Organic sulfur crystals from sulfurdefense.com help by forcing oxygen and nutrition into your cells while eliminating heavy metals, contaminants, and damaging radiation. Defend yourself and family from toxic assault with one of the most critical and essential minerals available today. Order online at sulfurdefense.com. That's sulfurdefense.com. Or call 800-593-6273.
Does advertising on the Genesis Communications radio network actually bring positive results? Let's ask
Thomas Baldrick from Freeze Dry Guy.
And do the GCN listeners let you know they heard your ad?
Customers do let us know they've heard Freeze Dry Guy ads on GCN. They seem to be very loyal listeners to GCN, and they stay with those shows, and subsequently they stay with our business too.
Looking for positive results? Contact Lee Wickenhauser at 877-996-4327, extension 107.
Hi, this is Steve Sanchez, and based on a recent study, it was found that 57 million Americans had legal issues over the last 12 months, but only 60% of those studied sought out the services of a lawyer. Why? In a nutshell, affordability. Well, my friends at Legal Shield have created a solution that can help you not if, but when you need an attorney. For as little as $17 per month, Legal Shield will provide you unlimited access to qualified attorneys at an accomplished law firm for advice and counsel on legal issues, no matter how serious or trivial. For over 40 years and with 1.4 million families across North America, Legal Shield can help you, the loyal GCN listener. Representatives are standing by now to answer your questions, so call them now at 1-855-340-SAVE. That's 1-855-340-7283, or visit them at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com.
Results will vary from case to case.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right. General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Take delivery in spring. 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
In the U.S., 1 in every 50 homes will have a break-in this year. Burglars call it smash and grab. Police call it robbery. We call it avoidable. We are Fake TV, a simple electronic device that can fool even professional burglars. Fake TV easily plugs into any outlet and simulates the changing colors of a television. To a burglar, it looks like someone must be home watching TV, so they'll likely move on to an easier target. At only $29.95, Fake TV costs less than a month of most alarm monitoring plans and comes with free shipping. Order your Fake TV by calling 877-5-FAKE-TV or go to faketv.com. That's 877-532-5388 or faketv.com. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Not just an alternative to the mainstream media. We're the premier independent talk radio network. We are G's.
All right, we're back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben, and time to hit the phones. 855-660-4261 is our number. Let's go to Texas and welcome Philip to the bright side. What's going on, Philip?
Hi, sir. I just would like you to elaborate on, quote-unquote, the theoretical applications of dimethyl sulfoxide, DMSO.
DMSO. Love that stuff, man.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff you could do with DMSO. It's I've been talking about DMSO a couple months ago when we were talking about sulfur. We spent a lot of time talking about it. Urinary tract infections, you can use it intravenously. Interstitial cystitis, which is a dramatic form of urinary tract infection. But its most important use, or its most well-known use, is as a topical pain reliever. DMSO can block pain fibers. DMSO is anti-inflammatory. You can use it to treat cuts and sprains. I've been putting it on my sprained knee. I tore my medial meniscus about a month ago, and it's all swollen. I've been applying it topically right on my knee, and I can't even describe to you the kind of pain relief you get. I don't even feel pain when I use the DMSO on top of my knee. It's amazing, amazing, amazing stuff. Of course, it's illegal. Of course, the FDA won't let you use it. Of course, the FDA is blackballed DMSA. Of course, the FDA says you have to go to a hardware store to get. That's where I get my DMSOs, from a hardware store, believe it or not.
That's why I said theoretical.
Yeah, well, it's not theoretical. I can tell you from personal experience, not just with my patients, but with me personally, the stuff is absolutely amazing. They tell